Good afternoon. I'm sure all of you have seen these 14 photographs, combat boots, rifles, helmets, and dog tags. They represent the men and women that we've lost since September 11th, 2001. These men and women who paid the ultimate sacrifice have a lot in common since the beginning of our nation. Since the day of the Minuteman fighting for our freedoms, to an enemy that returned in the War of 1812, burned the White House, to all the wars and skirmishes that we have forgotten, to the time of our Civil War where brother took arms up against brother for what they believed was right, to the World War. They didn't call it World War I, they called it the World War because they never thought there would be another, where men traveled on ships to parts of the world they had only read about in books. They went because of their duty and their honor and their respect for our freedoms. They went in a war that had no end, apparently, because just one generation later, as fascism spread across Europe, some of the same men and the next generation answered the call for World War II and boarded some of those same ships and a lot more, and had battles that, to this day, many stories have not been told because of the unspeakable horror. They answered their call of duty, that generation, that greatest generation, as we see some representatives here today. After the World War II, and we were victorious, most of the country, most of the men and women in uniform, the political leaders thought that war was over, that we'd never see this again. Well, a little bit more than 10 years, we sent troops to Korea. And then the next generation, we sent them to Vietnam. And we sent them because communism was spreading. Threats of nuclear war were everywhere. And then our nation attacked on September 11th, 2001. Once again, a peaceful nation. A nation not interested in empire building, not interested in taking over any other parts of the world, but a peaceful nation attacked like we had been too many times to recount. And this generation, the generation that we saw from Iraq and Afghanistan up here, the generation that these boots and helmets represent, answered the call. Sometimes as we get older we say, these kids today happened in every generation. These kids today are willing to go where our government asks them to do. This generation today, like all these other generations of men and women, answer the call out of duty and honor. They answer the call when the war is popular and there's parades welcoming them back. They answer the call when the war is unpopular and there's no one waiting for them to come back, and sometimes even worse. They answer the call, and because they answer the call, we have the privilege of living in this country free, full of liberties. Liberties that we think of sometimes and those we take for granted. The opportunity to speak your opinion, like that Korean War veteran just did. Liberties to gather here today. Liberties to raise our children, seek prosperity, be self-employed. Most of these we take for granted. But let me tell you, let me remind you on this Memorial Day, every liberty, every freedom you appreciate, every one you take for granted, has been paid for by the blood and the lives and the sacrifices of men and women since the founding of our country, who are willing to go wherever we needed them, follow their orders, and in many cases, pay the ultimate price with their life. And I have the privilege to read the 14 names of the Gold Star families from Cape Cod who have suffered that loss since September 11th, 2001. And if you are a Gold Star family member of one of these service members, we'd ask you to come up on the stage here and join us as I read your family member's name. As I said, it started on September 11th, 2001, when a peaceful nation was going about our business, and cowards hijacked planes and attacked us because of those freedoms that we enjoy. The first casualty of that beginning of the war on terror was Navy Captain Gerald DeConto, who died in the Pentagon on September 11th, 2001. Army Sergeant Mark Vecchione, 2006. Army Sergeant Alexander Fuller, 2007. Army Staff Sergeant Elisa Briquette, 2007. Army Sergeant Zachary Tellier, 2007. Marine Private First Class Daniel McGuire, 2008. Army Private First Class Paul Conlon, 2008. Marine Corps Corporal Nicholas Exaros, 2009. Marine Captain Eric Jones, 2009. Army Staff Sergeant Matthew Pacino, 2009. Army Private First Class Clinton Springer, 2010. Army Sergeant Matthew Gallagher, 2011. United States Navy SEAL Kevin Houston, 2011. And Navy Commander Frank Williams, 2013. May they rest in peace.
We also, I believe, have a couple of Gold Star families who are actually not from the Cape, but we'd like to get you up here anyway to tell us a little bit about your loved ones. So if you are from a Gold Star family, please come up. Come on up. Ah, there you are. There you are. First of all, what's your name?
Colby,
Hello, Colvin. Tell us a little bit about the person you lost.
my dad, Army Sergeant John Michael Stoddard.
And what is the Army, Navy?
Army,
Army. Okay, thank you very much. What's your name? Allison?
Allison,
Hi, Allison. And yours?
Tammy.
Tammy, thanks. Come on, please. We have another Gold Star family. What was, first of all, your name?
Shelley,
And Shelley, what member of the family did you lose?
my son, Specialist Skyline Bill, Iraq 2007.
And what branch of the service? Thank you so much. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, a hand for our Gold Star families. Thank you very much. Please return to your seats. Thank you very much for coming up. We appreciate it.